Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Before we dive into this bonus episode, I just want to let you know that this was recorded outside of Huntstock Fest, so you might hear some music in the background, people shuffling around, stuff like that. It was a great opportunity to sit down with Lanny and Glenn. We got some great deer stories coming for you, so we hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you. You're listening to STAGR Cast, brought to you by STAGR Gear. All right, well, we're in a little unexpected episode here. We're sitting down with Lanny Benoit and Glenn Bombardier, and they just swung by the STAGR booth and said, let's sit down for a few minutes, maybe get a couple buck stories, and we'll go from there. Do you want to start us off with what's your heaviest buck, Lanny?
272. I shot bigger deer than that, but they were so skinny they didn't weigh up there.
Yep.
This deer was extra long. When I skun that deer out, he had a cup of fat on him. That's all he had.
Yep.
And he still weighed 272. And that year I shot the biggest buck in Maine.
That was the biggest one in Maine.
Yep, that was back in, I can't remember when it was, way back, early 80s maybe.
Yep.
I mean, I'm getting, you gotta bear with me, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
My memories, I'm going away with
Just a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I shot my first buck on my own when I was 10 years old.
Yep.
The first buck I shot with my dad, and he helped me. And from 10 till a few years ago, and I hate to say this, but I was a killing machine, first killing deer, and some of these deer I really felt guilty about, because the biggest thing when I shot a deer, I wanted him dead when I went up there, or went over there. I didn't want to have him looking at me when I had to shoot him again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have a big heart, and I hated that.
Yep.
And I apologize for saying that, because when I say I'm a killing machine, but I was brought up to be a deer hunter.
You had to hunt to eat back then, right?
Well, back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I started shooting deer.
Right.
Now you think about how long ago that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm 76 now. So through the years, we decided, we kind of laid back after the first book, and we laid back a little bit, and then Shane and I got talking about it, and we said, let's help other people become better deer hunters. So we came out with the white book and the blue book, and we started doing videos. And then somebody laughed at me when I said, I'd like to start a deer hunting school. Deer hunting school? That's why they got schools for everything in this world.
Yeah.
Why can't we have a deer hunting school?
Yeah.
Right.
In our hunting school, everybody's going to graduate.
Yeah. No failure right there.
Yeah.
There's going to be no flunkies,
Yeah.
no matter what. So anyway, so we have a deer hunting school, and this guy comes along, and he gets in our deer hunting school.
Yep.
And I noticed right off that he had the concentration, the will, the want, that he wanted to learn how to do this stuff.
Yep.
So he goes to the school, and he graduated.
With honors.
There you go.
With honors, had top honors. And so that year, he decided to go hunting with us.
Yep.
And this is after we talked about how to do this and do that, and I'm trying to be a good coach,
Yeah.
and be a good teacher. And so we're putting down the road one morning, and here's this nice big buck track crossing the road. And this shows you how good a learner he was. This is one of the first real big deer he's ever tracked. It might have been your first 200-pounder.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means we killed a deer. He did.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So we get out of the truck, and we're talking about it, and we're looking at the track, and I remember saying to him, I don't know what kind of rack this deer's got, but he's definitely a 200-pound deer. And I had a little talk with him the way I thought a lot when I tracked a deer. I always had this thing in my head where I'm going to pretend I haven't eaten in a week, and I got to get this deer to eat again. And that's the way I approached it.
Gotcha.
So when I'm explaining that to him, I said, go after this deer like you haven't eaten in a long time. This is food.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
And I said to him, don't come back. Don't call me until you kill this deer.
Yeah.
Don't come back to the truck.
Gave you the
without
ultimatum.
shooting at that buck.
Yeah, so I told him, don't come back.
Poked me right in the chest.
So you knew it right away.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank
And
you
that-
for bringing that
Yeah,
up.
exactly. No, and it was Wednesday, and he's like, "You don't have any food for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Wednesday, you're leaving Saturday. This is the one.
Yep.
And if you don't get this, you're not eating."
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Different mentality.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's more primal.
Dogged detedetermination
Yeah,
type of stuff right
yeah.
there.
Yep.
When you ask me to tell a story and he's walking by, I go, there it is. There's a story right there.
Yep. So you got that buck?
I did. Yeah.
What did you dress
They
out at?
dropped 213.
213. That was your
213.
first Maine buck?
First Maine buck, and it was day before Thanksgiving.
That's
Now
a
think
heavy one.
about that. He just got done going to deer school that fall,
Yep.
that spring, and he goes on. That's how quick a learner he was.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying for 7-8 years. Since that white book came out, I was like in awe.
Yeah.
I was just going in the wrong places. And when I
Right.
talk to these guys, at the end of it, they're going back and forth with different people at the school,
Yep.
and you need to do this, you need to do that. And Lanny said to me, "You need to change where you're hunting," because I was talking to him about places I hunted in Vermont
Yep.
for the past 7-8 years,
Yeah.
and so went to Maine,
Yep.
and it was like, oh my god,
Light
instant.
switch,
That
yeah.
is a monster
Yeah.
track. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing I've ever seen. And
Deer
yeah,
did have big feet.
he had huge feet, and it
Yeah.
was all, what do you call them?
Clown feet.
No, that special word you call them.
Oh, Gahibahorbices.
I call them.
That's what I call 'em.
I call them slobber knockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I call them Gahibahorbices.
This thing was splayed out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When you look down at it and you're just like, oh,
No doubter.
300 pounds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
you could have.
Yeah.
I've tracked deer
Yeah.
with smaller feet.
Oh, yeah.
The one I shot in Maine that year, that was the biggest buck. He had smaller feet than the one he shot.
No kidding,
So
yeah.
you can't go by the size of the feet.
Hey, you got to go by
They're
the
all different.
stagger, right?
That deer, that big one I shot, had like 180-pound small buck feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't big at all.
right.
So,
You go by the stagger pretty
well,
much?
I knew after I tracked it for a while, this thing's a big deer. He had the big long strides,
Right.
3-foot steps, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he laid down for a little bit, and I looked at the bed. I go, "Holy shit!"
It's those real long deer that weigh the most.
That
Yeah.
was a long
Yeah.
deer because he had no fat on him.
Right.
I said, "I'm sticking with this guy."
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
I got
basically the end of my story.
a quick question.
That's it.
I got a quick question for you. Do you think deer that come out of like big mountains, do you think they're going to be shorter usually?
Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you what happens.
Yeah.
You take further north,
Yep.
then it gets to a point where the deer are malnutrition because the winters are too hard.
Yep.
And they go the other way.
Yep.
There's a section there between here,
Yep.
which is south,
Yep.
way north. Right in that section, right here,
Yep.
all the little deer don't make it through the winter because
Yep.
the winters are too hard. Only the big, healthy deer breed. And when that happens, you get big deer. And take a deer that weighs 240 pounds, 230, 220. That deer is a freak deer.
Yep.
That's not an average buck. Your average big, full-grown buck is 170 to 200 pounds.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
When you shoot him over that deer's a way above average.
They're rare,
he's,
yeah.
He's a freak deer.
Right. So you don't think the mountains have much to do with the?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do.
Okay.
You think
But
the
he's asking the length of the deer.
Yeah, length.
Oh, the length?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Is
I've
it just
heard
deer to-
I've
every deer is
heard
different?
before that, like, because I like to hunt a lot of big, like 4,000 footers, and I've heard a lot of people, and I've kind of seen it with a couple that I've shot. Those big mountain deer, kind of short, stocky.
Well, the one there, he was a big mountain deer. I shot him right on the top of iron. Katahdin?
Katahdin Ironworks.
Yeah. Way up on top.
And that was your 270 something?
Yeah. Shot
Yep.
a bunch of deer up there.
Yep.
Down on top.
Way up
Yeah,
high.
That's
you know why
good.
they go up there? Because they're resting.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
They don't go up there. Well, see, they're used to going up there in the summertime. A lot of people don't realize this. If you drive up high like this, in the summertime, you're going to see a lot of deer up there. You know why? Because they're getting away from the flies.
Yep.
No
Ah,
kidding.
okay.
Yeah. Never
Flies
thought
are
of-
bothering
yeah.
them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways, what happens is if you want to shoot big deer, you should hunt high.
Yeah.
Well, you've shot a ton of deer up in Jay, and those are 4,000
4,000 footers.
Oh, shot
yeah.
them all over that
Yeah,
big
but-
mountain.
Yeah.
But those deer weren't short, stubby ones.
No.
No.
They
No,
were
see,
all
that's
mixed.
that's like an old wives' tale that I've heard growing up. You know, like guys will say in the Adirondacks, "Oh, the big mountains, they don't produce big deer." See, that's why I asked you. I wanted to get that out of you and hear that, because I've found that the biggest mountains is where a lot of the biggest deer come from.
That's
because
what I see.
they have to be big to
Wow.
survive.
They become big because they have a chance to grow up.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yep.
don't have your energy, your stamina to go up there.
Yeah.
And while you're young, you should do that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you get to my age, here's the way it works. When I used to go up them freaking mountains when I was your age, the trees are all bent this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they're bent that way for me pulling them. Okay?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So while you're young,
Oh yeah.
hunt high,
Yep.
Yeah.
shoot big deer, be patient, go slow when you have to.
Yep.
The other thing I was listening to you in there, you were talking about even the high mountaintops, the lowlands in the valleys need to be good as well. It can't be just open
Yeah,
hardwood.
yeah, you can't
Yeah.
have just open hardwood and up and down. So
Yeah.
don't look up there and say, "Oh, that's good deer hunting."
Yeah.
You got to look at the bottom.
That's where a lot of those does and stuff are hanging,
Well, I
right?
know,
And
but the bottom is the winter yard. If you
Okay,
don't
gotcha,
have
gotcha,
that-
gotcha what you're saying. Yep.
If you don't have that, there's nothing up there hardly. You know, straggler coming
Yep.
from 10
Whatever,
miles
yeah.
away.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
So it's multiple things coming together.
Nah.
So back in the day when you did deer school, Lanny, and you had Glenn, did you invite people up often to come hunting, or you're picking the honor students as
We are
as
picking.
Glenn
We're
said?
trying to pick. Listen to me. I'm trying to pick. We tried to pick the people that we thought that would benefit the most.
Yep.
Right.
Because some people are never going to be able to track a deer.
Yeah.
Some people just will never. I'm going to use the violin for an example.
Go for it.
That I play that as
You
well.
play that, eh? Honor
Some
student
people
violin.
can't play a violin, and no matter how long they play it.
I'd
Yep.
be one of those guys.
Me too.
Not a violin player.
So
Can do it.
what we try to do is, you can only take so many people hunting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you got 12 people at deer hunting school, I can't take all them people hunting.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. We didn't even like 12 people because you couldn't give them all enough attention.
Right.
Yep.
So we had a deer hunting school, 6, 7, 4 was great.
Yep.
Because now you can spend more time with that person than having a group.
Yep.
Yeah, we tried to pick who we thought that would benefit the most.
That's good. Yep. And it's
It
definitely
did
paid
change-
off for you.
Changed
Yeah.
my life. Well, number one, when I was 12 years old, we had a camp over in Duxbury right by their house.
Okay. Yep.
And I go down, we're deer hunting and we're just driving the roads and doing whatever, and we stop by their house and they've got these monsters chained up to the porch.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, you've
Being-
seen the
I was
pictures.
just a little guy, and I remember seeing.
Monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were gigantic.
Yep.
And I remember grabbing those antlers, and it just all of a sudden etched something in my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the big changing point right there.
Yeah.
Or that was the time where I need to shoot some of these.
Yep.
And then the White Book came out. My wife bought me that for Christmas, and that was like, whoop, just engrossed in everything.
Right.
Bought myself a 270 pump because my
Oh
idol,
yeah.
Lanny
Had the
yeah.
270.
270.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
And
can
then-
drill his better than me.
Yeah.
Did you have the peep sight on it
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
still the gun you're running now that you're
Yep.
killing bucks with?
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
saw you killed a really nice Adirondack buck there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
That was this year.
Last
Yep.
Okay, that was a
Yep.
great buck. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw your
thanks.
peep gun on
Yep.
that.
11 pointer. Yeah.
How do you go about picking out a big buck track in the Adirondacks? Because I hear a lot of
Oh,
guys
that's
struggle
different.
with it.
It is. It
I
took,
mean-
me,
Animal.
it took me a little while to
Yeah.
figure it out. I had shameless plug here, but STAGR is huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Yep.
that makes a
Yeah.
big difference over there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
the differences in the track are minuscule.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a quarter-inch difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And that could be really tough, especially when they get mixed in with other deer.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get and I only like to go over there in the late season. It almost
Right.
feels like cheating. I hate to say it like that.
No, I
because
hear
it
you.
sounds like I'm bragging, but
Cheated.
they're not chasing those does.
No.
Yep.
And they're not getting in a barnyard and chasing everything around where you have to sort and then go 5 miles that
And
way
they're
on the
tired,
track.
man. They're
Yep.
tired. You know.
Am I supposed to go over there now, or what's the deal?
I don't know.
Good.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the big thing. It was just that
Yep.
after going to Maine for several years and you see those big wide tracks and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to find something like that up here in the Adirondacks. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
yeah.
very, very rarely. I
Right.
did get one that was 207 up there. And that
Yeah.
was
That's a
That's a
that's a
hell of a- yeah.
huge Adirondack buck.
it was a no doubter, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. You hunt the Adirondacks most now, it seems like, or do you kind of just bounce around?
I do bounce around. I try to go where the best snow is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And,
You have to if you want to be. You
The
gotta.
Adirondacks are only 2 hours from my house,
Yeah.
really. So
It's not bad at all.
yeah,
Yep.
shoot over there. Sometimes I'll stay over in a hotel,
Yep.
Central location, and
Yep.
then try and find the good
Yep.
snow areas.
Back in the day when you were hunting with him, deer school and everything, was that like back in the days when you had the whole Benoit bus and you were like in your trucking up there, or you guys had a camp back then? What was it?
No, that was at Pine Grove Lodge.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So early 2000s.
Gotcha. But you did do the bus back in the day, right?
Yes.
Those
Buses
are
were fun.
Yeah.
What's the story on those? I've always
All
heard
right,
of the
here's
legend
the deal,
of them.
you
so-
guys.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about buses. The reason we bought buses, me leader, chief, scout, whatever. I said, listen, we can't buy a camp up there. Here's what's going to happen. We buy a camp at Great Deer Hunting right here. What's going to happen, we're going to clean this area out of big bucks. This is a true story.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, we're going to kill all them big bucks, and it takes a buck to be 4.5 and up. So we're going to hunt this place out. Now we got to move, keep moving. That's what we had. That's why I got buses.
Or
Okay.
it's gonna
that's-
get cut off.
Yep.
And that's what
Yep.
we did. We'd hunt an area. Now we got to leave because there's no more big bucks here. They're all too young.
Yep.
You can't wait for them to grow up.
No.
So we'd move to another spot, like Pearland Pond. We went there the first year we went there. We shot 7 200-pound bucks. How
Holy
many's
shit.
left?
Yeah.
Not very
Yeah,
many.
true, you wait.
So now you got to move again.
Yeah, you clean the
That's
top
why
of the
we did
pyramid off like
buses.
that. Yeah.
It's
If you had a
smart.
camp,
It's
pretty
smart.
soon you're going further and further. That's like when him and I went to Ontario. We're driving 85 miles from where we're camped because we're cleaning out the area that we're camped at.
Killing them all, yeah.
Yep.
And him and I went way up north, and I said, you go up that valley right there, Glenn. I know there's some big bucks in there. He shot a big 8-pointer that day, and he told me about a 10-pointer. I went
Yep.
back, got him too.
Yeah, I got back and we stopped at the show in Essex. There.
Yeah.
And he's like, does that deer look familiar? And it's on the wall. I'm like, holy shit, look at that. That's the one that I saw.
Really?
The 10-pointer.
Yep,
No
big,
kidding.
long, huge tines on it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No kidding.
So you stayed pretty mobile back in the day in Maine then. You guys were you hopping all over the place?
Oh
or-
yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
See,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you go fishing. Here's a fishing hole.
Yeah.
Got that one. Got that one. What's left?
Yeah. That's a
Now
good
you got to
point.
find another fishing hole.
Yep.
It's the same as fishing. People don't realize that. I had a lot of people tell me, well, I'm hunting here because I know the land. I know every rock and crevice, but it's hunted out, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need to move.
Yeah.
And I told people in Ontario that, Maine, because they're not having no luck. You got to move. You got to find something else.
Gotcha.
Yep.
If you don't, you're hunting where there's not a big deer, and you can't shoot one if there ain't one there.
Yeah, it's true.
That's good advice.
It's a good
You
point.
can't catch a fish.
If it ain't swimming there.
Can't catch a 5-pound bass if there's.
It's all cleaned out.
1 pounders, yeah.
Exactly.
I got a
Yeah.
question for you, Lanny. So, what year did you guys start going to Maine?
72.
72. So now you guys killed a lot of nice bucks in Vermont before that, right? So, did you start going to Maine because did you guys kind of clean out the area in Vermont, or did it change?
It started getting mowed down.
Mowed down by you guys or everybody?
No, by us.
By you guys, yeah.
We were hunting jay.
Yeah.
One year we were hunting jay, and I come back after a week, and I said to my dad, we got to move. Boy,
Yeah.
there's always been big bucks. There's no more big bucks there.
You guys are getting too good at it, yeah.
I says, well, back then I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, there's no more big bucks, Dad. I've covered every inch of this Jay Peak thing. I've gone in the swamp. I've gone up here. These deer are all 2.5. They got no horns yet.
Right.
They ain't grown up. We got to move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the next day we moved, and we went to like up around Island Pond. Shot 2 big bucks that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And same with Maine. You got to move.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And we did that in Ontario. Him and I did that. I mean, him and I said to him, I got a spot up. We went up there, and first day he shoots this 8-pointer. It's about this wide.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a few days later, I shot that 10-pointer that he saw
Yeah.
right up
Yep.
that valley. And I knew they were there because I was driving out of there one night. And there was 3 bucks chasing a doe around in one cut. And, well, look at that.
Yep.
And it was like 25 miles from pavement,
Yeah.
at least.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, those roads just go out there,
Yeah,
don't
and
they?
people just, you see a rig here and there
Yep.
along the main road, and then keeps petering out, and we were the only ones way back there.
Really?
That was it.
Yep.
no
No
kidding.
kidding. I got one last question for you, Lanny, and I'll let you go. So you had a 272 in Maine. What was your heaviest Vermont buck? You know?
Around 250.
250 Vermont buck. What's the story on that one?
I hurt my leg one day.
Okay.
Way up and back in J,
Yep.
and I stepped in a hole,
Yep.
and I bent my leg backwards,
Oh.
like this.
Yep.
So I'm limping because I hyperextended my leg.
Yeah.
I'm way back in that valley on the southern side. The ski area is on the backside.
Yep.
I said, well, I'm going to work my way back to the rig because, boy, I really screwed my knee up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming down off the mountain on the western side. I'm cutting down through where it goes like this, and the ski area is right over there.
Yep.
I look down, there's this great big buck track. Well, guess what? My knee didn't hurt no more.
The cure-all right there. Yep.
Well, I hoofed it down through falling. I caught him in the hardwoods down there and plugged him.
No kidding.
Come to find out, my dad was tracking him.
Oh, no kidding. Cut him off, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez. 250. That's a heck of a
big
Vermont
buck.
buck. Was it like back in the day in those early, like the 70s and 60s and stuff, were the deer...
This was 60s.
60s,
Okay.
yeah.
So those early Vermont days, were the bucks in Vermont back then like very similar to like the same like almost like genetic line of bucks in Maine, or did they get cleaned out, or they always
No,
been
actually,
a little
further
smaller?
north you got up around Maidstone,
Yep.
northern part. I can't remember all the names.
Island Pond area.
That whole
Yeah,
Northeast
Island
Kingdom
Pond,
corner. Yeah.
Further north, Norton.
Yep. Yep.
Norton.
They had big deer up there, just like Maine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it still kind of is like that. Seems like where the biggest
see,
bucks every
go
year get
north.
killed. Yep.
There's a point there where they get bigger because the little ones don't survive.
Yep.
Take down here a little deer this tall, he makes it through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Yep.
make it through and then they breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the strain gets small,
Yep.
and as the winters soften up, the strain gets smaller again.
Yep.
Because the little ones are making it through.
Yep.
And if you want big bucks, you can't have that.
You got to go places.
Mother Nature's
yeah.
cruel.
Oh yeah. Survival of the fittest. Yep. For sure.
But
There is definitely that significant line that cuts across that northeast corner, northern New
Hal
Hampshire.
talks about it too. It's like
Yeah.
the Adirondack side. He says it's a different strain of deer.
Exactly.
I would probably have to agree with him on
I
that.
think
Oh,
so
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like those central Vermont deer and stuff where I hunt in Vermont, it's a
Yeah.
whole different animal up in Maine.
they, the problem over there is they get early spring, late winters,
Yep.
and the deer migrate back and forth into the mountains here. They go down into the lowlands or the little ones. But every once in a while they'll shoot a 240, 50-pound deer.
Yep.
That's a freak deer.
Yep. That's a great big one.
Now, in Maine, when I first started hunting up there was all kinds of big deer in the state of Maine.
Yep.
Everywhere you went, you'd see these big tracks.
Yep.
And when you went there, did you hunt the same exact way that you did in Vermont?
Yep.
Like, straight to the top of the mountains?
I shot a lot of them up high. One of the last bucks I shot up there, I shot way up high. Had
Yep.
a muzzleloader, Woodman's Arms.
Okay. Yeah.
I hunted down low and got sick of it, and I went,
Yep. So,
oh, look at this thing.
yep. So you've always been shoot straight up to the top of the mountain. That's
Not
where.
the top, but you need to get
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in
not the
there.
top, but up in that,
What
up in the
happens,
stuff.
people don't realize them big bucks run around chasing the does all the time, and they need a rest, so they'll go up there and lay down and for a few days
Yep.
and feed, and then pretty soon they go chasing the does again.
Yep.
There's always big bucks up high.
Yep. Yep.
You can be plugging along for hours, not see nothing, all of a sudden there it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
You take a big, huge ridge or like a peaked mountain? What did you prefer?
Doesn't matter. Just keep going.
Wherever the big bucks were. Yeah.
You're young and
I'm saying when,
Yeah, yeah.
when you're looking.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
In your prime, how many miles do you think you were doing a day?
In my prime, I used to lose 10 to 15 to 20 pounds in 2 weeks in Vermont.
Yeah.
And I ate steadily,
Yeah.
or in Maine.
So you're
because
probably doing.
I put so many miles on, burned so many calories, and I did it day after day after day.
Yeah.
You'll testify for that. I used to put my wet coat on the back of the seat, wouldn't even bring it in and dry it out. Why not? I was just going to get wet again tomorrow. Frig it.
Yep.
Put it back on, go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You
co-
remember that?
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
looked at me like I'm crazy. I'm
You
telling
gotta
you.
dry that thing off.
Why bother?
so covering ground is important.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good buck tracker, you got to be doing 10, 20 miles a day, if you can, right?
One more quick story.
Yeah, sure.
Then
Hey,
we
you
gotta
can
cut
talk.
you guys off.
Hey, we can go all day if you want, man.
Told you
I'm
it
in-
wasn't going to be 5 minutes.
So anyways, I'm in Maine.
Yep.
Sunny day. Deer hunting's lousy. I decided to go roaming
Yep.
because that's what I did. I roamed and roamed and roamed. And I never had a compass when I went to Maine in 72.
Yep.
Didn't care because I knew the woods weren't big enough to keep me in there because I was in such good shape.
Yeah.
As hard as this table. So anyways, I go roaming. I'm going west. I'm going west. More west. Finally I go, you know what? I ain't got time to go back. You might as well keep going that way. And this is the other side of Rangeley down around Sandy Creek, and I'm headed, I can't remember that route, but it comes from Rangeley down in.
Yep.
So I keep going and going. I go down the other side of the mountain. I'm walking because it's going to get dark pretty soon. And there's a, like a Crown Victoria Mercury something parked side the road.
Yep.
An old guy's coming out of the woods. I go down. Buddy, I need a ride. Where are you going? Sandy Creek. Oh, how'd you get here? I said,
Airplane.
Come across the mountain.
Yeah.
No, you must have got lost. No, I ain't lost. I ain't got time to go back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dark.
Jeez.
So he gave me a ride. It took almost an hour to get back. That guy drove all the way there. He's lecturing me. You need to get a compass. You got lost. I didn't get lost.
No, you're
Yeah.
just going.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
going because I didn't care.
Yeah, that's
I
what
ain't
it
worried
takes.
about coming back. I'll
Yeah.
get a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the easiest thing when you're hunting and during hunting season, you got a gun, you get a ride.
Yep. Yeah.
You get rid of the gun, you don't get a ride.
Right.
So anyways, the next year I did the same thing. Well, guess what? The same guy's parked in the same spot.
No kidding. Did the same thing to him again, huh?
I need a ride back. You again? He goes, you need to get a compass.
That's
See,
crazy.
the
That's good.
impressive thing is that he did this without GPS.
No
without-
Onyx.
Nothing.
No Onyx,
Yeah.
no
No.
Google Earth, no electronics, and obviously no compass.
Right.
So there's a mentality there that you have
Oh,
to
it's,
have. when
it's
you
some
go out in
serious,
the woods.
serious confidence.
Oh,
But
I
I
doubt
never
it.
got lost. Ever.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Some people just don't.
So,
yeah,
I
just
mean,
get the natural
I
wood
think
skills.
it takes that kind of confidence to be a
Oh,
good
yeah.
tracker.
Yeah.
Let me
You have
explain
to-
something
you have to be an
you.
That's the
optimist,
only
yeah.
thing you can
That-
worry about is that track.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
getting
You
lost,
see
not-
today? See today?
Yeah.
Where's the sun come up?
Yeah, east,
Where is it in the middle of the day?
in the middle.
Where's
Yeah.
south?
Well, yeah, on the other side.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have that and you get in a swamp,
Yep.
backside of a tree,
North's moss. Yeah.
there's all kinds of things it tells you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can't-
Yeah, for sure.
I've
yeah.
gotten screwed up a few times, and it took me a little bit. To
Oh
get
yeah.
untangled.
You know, I got screwed up in the fog when I
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah,
younger.
that's right.
Oh,
Real
fuck,
bad.
terrible.
Real bad
Fog
stuff.
screwed me up in a kind of a flat area, but yeah.
Yeah, fog in a swamp.
Yeah, flattish area, rolling hills.
Yeah, I had a couple times where that's not north.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Take my other compass
Right.
out.
Son of a gun, yeah.
I'll tell you what. When I was in Ontario, Tom and I he had a GPS and I had a compass. I take my compass out. I said to Tom, something's wrong here. I know we got to go that way. And the compass is not. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
This compass is not reading right. I know which way we got to go.
Yeah.
Because my brain, I keep track of it. Took out his GPS. Yeah, you're right. We got to go that way. Looked at the compass. Wow, what the hell's going on there? Come to find out there was a magnetic thing there.
Oh, yeah.
Screwing it
the
up.
compass up.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, yeah.
So I talked to a few people and they said, "Oh yeah, you go over there. You don't use a compass because it ain't going to work."
Holy
Really?
smokes.
That's interesting.
Hunting those big mountains is nice too, because you always have those visuals, you know,
So
Landmarks.
landmarks that
Yep.
you can see.
we're in Ontario again. I had a different camera guy than Tommy. End of the day, the guy's arguing with me about which way to go back to the truck, and he had a GPS. I said, "Your GPS ain't telling you right. You didn't mark it right." I took my compass out and I said, "We got to go right that way. We're going to come out with 100 feet of the truck." I'm telling you. "Oh no, we got to go that way." I saw, and he's arguing with me. I said, "I'll tell you what. I'll meet you back at the truck later. I'm going that way.
Yeah.
I don't care what your
Yeah.
GPS says."
Yeah.
Yep.
Finally, he listened to him and he followed me. And we get to the truck and he goes, "Boy, you were right. What did I do?" I said, "You marked it the time before. You didn't mark it right in your GPS."
Yep.
And I knew that when I took it out. I said, "I know." I've been in the woods ever since I was a kid.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Time in the woods.
You
Yep.
can learn it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
for
Because
sure.
I grew up in tree stands and ground blinds.
Yeah,
Yep.
and look at you now.
Yep, exactly.
You're a big
I
woods-
wanted to do
yeah.
this. This was going to be the consistency that I was striving for.
Yep.
And this was going to be the way that I wanted to shoot big bucks because everything else would seem to be luck to me.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, shot quite a few,
Yeah.
but just seemed like it was luck.
Right.
Yep.
And I wanted to get that big monster that I, at 12 years old, grabbed a hold of.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It burned it into you right
Right.
then and there.
But
Dave.
you know,
Yeah.
you did learn it, but I do think it takes a certain kind.
Sure.
It takes a certain
Absolutely.
kind of man.
Oh, yeah. I've taken a bunch of guys with me, and they're like, I'm not going up that
Nah,
hill."
yeah,
No,
no, it takes a stubborn old boy.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to want to do it.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
want to do it.
You gotta
Yeah.
fall in love with it. You gotta want it.
Well, fellas, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
appreciate
stopping
that.
by. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Glenn.
Yeah, hey,
cool.
thanks for coming on, man.
Good
Hope
little
I see you
segment.
guys again somewheres.
Yeah.
Can we have breakfast some morning? You guys buy?
Sure, why not?
Absolutely.
He's in Waterbury.
Yeah, I'm in Waterbury, right there. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys.